I just read an article on Fox Online about this psychiatrist, Keith Ablow, and it's amazing. Now, um, as I read this article here, I'm just wondering what kind of psychiatrist he is. Now, he was assigned to go and sort of interview this person here, Keith Luke, 28, who had murdered some people and so on. And he went into the cell or some place where he and this guy were alone. I guess privacy, you need privacy while you're interviewing folks. But didn't he do some research? Didn't he ask some questions about this guy? I mean, there are indications all along that this is not the type of guy you want to be sort of interviewing by yourself. Now, he wore the swastika on his head in court. He, I guess, behaving his behavior is disrupting and so on. And for the type of killings he did and the type of racist bias he has, I mean, it's amazing. Now, I never knew that Keith Ablow was Jewish, but this guy seemed to know that. And hey, he's neo-Nazi. You're Jewish. You go in this room with this guy alone. Now, I'm just trying to figure out where Dr. Keith Ablow is. And I mean, I'm sounding like I'm critical, but so much stupidness happening that somebody got to really try to see how we could get some more sanity and some things going different and so on. And now he has written this article, and then he's showing how his vehemence and how he's sort of hate this guy. He's glad that he's dead. He went back again to have the interview after the guy. He said, "Look, if I had some more time, I'd have killed you." Okay, and he said, "When you go down the road, you should have an accident and die." Now he wants to continue doing his assessment of this guy. How objective could he be? Well, psychiatry is not objective, it seems. I mean, the medicine part, if they get the right diagnosis, the medicine is sort of scientific and objective. But it seems as if they try to project their dark deeds and dreams on thoughts and so on folks. All right, because he wants to go back and evaluate this guy. How kind of objective he could be? Would he be able to see whether the guy has, some good traits or whatever? Or he's just trying to harass the guy by going back. See, you tried to kill me, but I'm back here again. And the guy's attorney and the officials at the jail rightfully told him, no, you can't go back. And I think he must have been other times back, according to the article. So I'm not sure where this doctor is, and I'm kind of scared as he talks more and more, and as I read more of his articles. I hope that this is just his kind of idiosyncrasy, is not the profession, because this is very trivial. If somebody tries to kill you, you need to stay away from them. You don't want to have any protection and wall to be, amongst them. No, I mean, of course, Jesus talks about forgive people 1,000,000 times, so that you have this spouse, your woman, and your husband try to kill you. Now, my understanding would be you forgive the brother, and you just go away. You're not going to say, I forgive you, have you changed, let us go back and live again together. I don't see that as a smart move. In Toronto, there was this lady who told the cops, my husband, he's trained and he's armed, and he says he's going to kill me. Okay, and they said, oh no, don't worry about it, we can give you this whistle and or this whatever it is, and when you sung it, we're going to hear wherever we are, and we're going to come there in 4 minutes. So they found her in a park dead. By the time she must go for the whistle, they felt shot her, bam, it's over. So again, this Dr. Ablow, he's gone into this, there's a glass, and he's harassing the guy more or less, and he seemed to be excited that the guy committed suicide and so forth. And he talks about why people do the things they do. Now he's saying that this guy killed the people because he might have been abused, unloved, and some other thing he's talked about here. That's why people do the things they do. Unloved and all this kind of stupid stuff. I mean, that's not the only reason. I mean, he seemed to throwing something about God. Maybe in explaining why I consider myself to have failed so miserably, I can give readers insight into the power of psychiatry and its connection to God. Now, he's Jewish, he might be a godly man, and so on. So he brings in this God here. And God, when you have this level of commitment that you're serious and you're going to combine your psychiatry with it, although that might be illegal, but you're supposed to have premonition. God will tell you stuff, and you'll have certain feelings. You didn't feel that going into this place, he's going to have a problem, and he should understand evil. Now, the guy who was the demonic in the cemetery cutting himself up, and Jesus came and healed him. How did he become so evil? Is it that he was unloved? Was he abused as a child? Did he have evil thoughts? It could be very innocently Satan snared him, like Eve, for example. Eve wasn't no horrible person to wish death on the race by going and eating the fruit, but she had the experience, and she succumbed to the insinuations of Satan, and bam, all these things fall on her. So you can't blame her and say that maybe she was unloved, maybe she had some evil thoughts, maybe she was abused, whatever, or somebody did her some harm, that she wanted to bring death to the human race. My point is that not everybody who goes out there and does some horrible things have had things done to them. Along the way, they might have had grown up in a loving family, professionals. They have good. Mom might have stayed home and brought him through to a level where he could go to school, and then she went back to work and all this kind of stuff. So there was no way anybody else could a babysitter might have knocked his head up or whatever. But he started to introduce him to Halloween, and then while he has grown up now, he went into magic and to Ouija board and all this kind of other evil. And now the devil has taken over his life, and now it's giving him some trials, and he has accepted the Satanism, and there are roles for people. Some people are going to be nice and decent. Some are going to be psychiatrists, and others are going to be lobbyists, because they have the job to really create problems, bring out some psychological garbage that's going to throw people in a spin. For example, they said that when you're having some feelings, you get a teddy bear and you squeeze it, or you throw things when you're feeling bad. And that kind of behavior to me is so infantile and so immature that that's not the solution to the thing. You have to be a mature person and realize that these thoughts aren't necessarily the best, and try to get your mind on something good, and don't stay with the evil and the evil thoughts going through your mind, and that might be a solution, as it were. And they're going to lobby and get religion thrown out of schools and prayer out of the lives of government officials and so forth. And when the abuse and all the stuff happening in schools now, they have no responsibility for that, because they might be dead. They end up like the woman in Texas, I think she was, with the hip replacement, got prayer, I think, thrown out of school, and then somebody kidnapped her and killed her and buried her in a unmarked place over there and so on. Tried to, she was doing a whole bunch of evil and whatever. So the demonic guy, as a Jew, he might have went to the bar mitzvah. He was serious about doing his sacrifices and getting his sins taken care of in the whole 9 yards. But Satan took over his life, and Jesus saw all he was cursing and behaving very bad there. He was a good man, because, well, I can't say he's a good man, but he don't seem to have wanted to do the evil that he was doing. So Christ came along and read his mind that he needs help, and reached out and saw what the problem was. He must have seen the demons around the guy and all that, and see the guy really resisting and want to do the right thing, and so Christ was able to help him. So I don't agree basically that anybody who goes out there and does evil stuff. There was a guy that robbed the bank once, I think, with a knife at gunpoint or something like that. And he was a church deacon. He was all this good man, but he had some needs. He had no work. He needed to pay his rent and to buy food for his family. So I guess he went and robbed the bank, and perhaps that all this good stuff going to come with him, and then might get a TV role or some kind of job in Hollywood to play bank robber or whatever. You know what I mean? So I don't understand this psychiatrist guy here, and yeah, you continue to say, I know for certain that many people are loath to let light into the parts of their lives that have turned them towards darkness, whether depression or anxiety or psychosis or violence. Yeah. So I don't need to get no insight into psychiatry. I wanted to be a psychiatrist because I felt as if I could have come up with some new techniques and so forth that could have avoided some of these problems. But a lot of times this is about, keep some people on hooked on whatever, keep coming to get that check, to buy that boat and to buy that big condominium over there and all this stuff. And you know what I mean? I was going to go straight and try to solve the problem so we don't have to go this over again. Guy comes to me with all this long story and all this stuff, and how we could solve that so we don't have to go through this again. And then, of course, some people like the thrill and going through it over and over, and that might even qualify them for a check. So that's another reason why I think that I didn't want to get into that, because I'm not going to be writing no prescription for nothing when I know this guy has no problem, but he just winking me and playing crazy because he wants to get a check, Yeah, so Dr. Keith Albow, I'm going to look up some more articles and see where you're going with this thing, and whether, you're a person that I even want to read about, because this article here in my mind is very disturbing to see how he's going to be talking about a person who was his client. All right, confidentiality. Oh, the guy's dead, I guess. But the whole thing is so immature and so infantile that I wonder. The other article he talked about young folks that exposing themselves and all that. And I have a video on that, but I can't remember the whole issue of it. So, Dr. Albow, be careful and think first before you put all these things here, because I'm not witch hunting and looking at for you and trying to check into your life and check your autobiography and all that stuff. You're putting stuff out there, and I read it, I find it just trivial, man.